So we are doing acts of kindness for 100 days. We are willing to do just about anything. You guys just have to tell us what you need help with. And you can do that at thebertshow.com.
I had a very pet-centric holiday because when I was set to do my 2 days for 100 Days of Good Goes Round, I wanted to start out with something I knew that would be very easy and tangible that I thought that not only I could do, but it would be easy for other pet owners to do as well. So if you've ever had a cat, you know that they are constantly like fighting with you about food. Like they find one specific food that works for their digestive system and everything else gives them raging diarrhea. So I have all of this cat food at my apartment that I can't give my cats because it gives them, the poops. So I was like, you know what? I have all this extra food that my cats aren't going to be able to eat. I should be able to drop it off at a shelter and, give it to cats that will actually appreciate it. So I did make a physical donation to the Atlanta Humane Society, but I also bought some things off their wish list online, which is a really easy thing to do. You can just log on to their website and then boom, 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 you make a little purchase on their website and it sends the packages immediately to the Atlanta Humane Society. So if you don't have any food at home, you can just basically purchase it online and it just gets shipped right to their door. And then I was also set to volunteer with my mom back in Jacksonville at something she does called Heartfelt Ministries, but we were in Gainesville for my dog that recently passed away due to some surgery complications. So while we were standing there, we were like, how fortunate are we to be able to afford all this vet care that a lot of people would have to pull the plug on their dog immediately. So we decided to make a donation to Planned Parenthood, which does low-cost vet care here in Atlanta. I made a donation. My parents are going to make a separate donation somewhere else, but we wanted to be able to provide some kind of services for people who wouldn't be able to afford it. Kristen, you also did some stuff over the week.
We're going to keep it in the pet theme. So because I lost my sweet old man, Leroy, after 17 years, always make donations to where we adopted him back in Raleigh, North Carolina. So Second Chance Pet Adoptions in memory of Leroy made a donation there. Cass?
I picked up trash in Fort William State Park in Maine to help keep our parks beautiful. I also gave money to an unhoused person because I know there are programs in place, but I also believe not everyone can take advantage of those programs or doesn't know how. So I try and help people out when I can, when I see them asking. And then I made a donation to the Children's Miracle Network, which donates to local hospitals. They've donated something like $9 billion to 170 children's hospitals to help those hospitals fund critical care for kids in need. And then I'm not the only one. Tommy, what you did?
So July 4th last year, I went over to our friends Ben and Nancy. They live in Cambridge Preserve in Marietta. And their neighborhood, not just their neighborhood, their neighbor puts on this big fireworks show. And last year, we just kind of watched across the street. And I made a promise last year, hey, I will provide music next year if you guys do this again. So Julie and Mondo across the street from our friends Ben and Nancy have this it rivals any fireworks show that you would go see. And this is in a neighborhood. So I put together a patriotic playlist and this thing lasted forever. It was probably 90 minutes of fireworks. Dang. And I think I played every patriotic song that there was. And Mikey, he is in Arkansas, vacationing somewhere in a pond. So Mikey also paid it forward in a drive-thru. He was at McDonald's the other day, and he paid for somebody's Big Mac meal behind him and got a pay it forward started. Over to you, Mo.
So I was spending time with my lady's dog, Foxy, over a weekend. I realized at that moment that was something that I felt like I was missing in my life. And so I told her, I really believe I'm ready to have my own dog. And I wasn't exactly sure where to start. And so she knew a lot of people who ever got a dog from the Atlanta Humane Society. So she gave me the idea to just donate and like donate on behalf of Caesar, our fallen family dog. And maybe that will guide me in which direction to go in. And so I gladly did that. And that was my good deed. Amber.
Well, I decided to go ahead and write some inspirational letters to people, random people in the office and in the streets, to just kind of give them a better idea of things. And I also decided to give blood with my dad and with Life Self, and gave I think more than a pint because I passed out.
Did you really?
Yes. I didn't do it right, but I did do a good deed, even though it never goes unpunished. Back to you, Bert.
I think it's now Rebecca, right?
Yes. So for today, you guys know I battled tongue cancer and I was immediately directed to Emory Winship Cancer Institute for treatment. And every day I am so grateful that that is where I was sent because I truly believe that they saved my life. I've had months and months of clear scans now. And if you're the praying type and you're listening, please pray that I continue to get clear scans until I am officially deemed cancer free. I could not have done it without the incredible people at Emory Winship Cancer Institute. And this year, they are having their Winship Cancer Institute 5K on October 4th, and I'm going to run it in person. And if you're listening, I would love for you to join me. And I was thinking to myself, how can I illustrate how much these people really helped me? I was thinking, what stories do I have of during treatment, of what I went through, of how people were there for me, how the facility took care of me. And then last week, while I was driving to the airport, I was listening to the radio and I heard a segment play. It was an old segment and it was one that I was on. And just the way that my speech has changed in literally a year is insane. And I wanted to play just a little snippet of what my speech sounded like only a year ago, just going after surgery, radiation, and chemo. Yep, my radiation mask, who I call Barb. It's just an easy name for me to say. I need help figuring out how to absolutely destroy her because I couldn't think of anything really good. And that was pretty good, actually.
It wasn't bad.
It honestly wasn't that bad. But you guys were, first of all, so nice to let me back on when I sounded like that. That's crazy. But when I heard that, it just made me realize how far I have come, not just with my speech clarity, which I have had 1/4 of my tongue resected and reconstructed. It's insane that I sound this good. And it's only because of the people that worked with me and took care of me at Emory Winship Cancer Institute. So I really want to support them in the way that they supported me. So if anyone listening would consider joining my team. You don't have to run. You could just donate. I started a team. I posted the link on the Bert Show socials, and there's a link at thebertshow.com/run. I'll be running in person that day. I'd love to see you out there.
Do we have a unique team name?
Team Rebecca.
No. No, we need a better one.
Hey, look at that.
Team
It's called
Rebecca.
a 1-second brainstorm. All right. Again, where they can go and get all the info.
Okay, so the race is October 4th. The links are all out on the Bert Show's social pages, and the bertshow.com/run has the link where you can either donate or you can join Team Rebecca.
How can we help you? You just got to tell us how at thebertshow.com.
The Bert Show.